So you remember John Bolton? He's the crazy guy who said he'd like to get rid of 10 floors of the United Nations, and then George Bush made him our ambassador to the United Nations. Oh, yeah. So he is one of the biggest hawks in the country. There's no war that he hasn't fallen immediately in love with. So now he was apparently the person who had the best chance of becoming the number 2 guy at the State Department, under Rex Tillerson, who would have been Secretary of State. So that's what all of the news had it because of internal leaks from the Trump administration. But it turns out he won't be getting it. But you're going to be amazed at why he might not be getting it. It turns out it has to do with his mustache. What? Okay, so we go to the Washington Post. Several of Trump's associates said they thought that John Bolton's brush-like mustache was one of the factors that handicapped a bombastic former United Nations ambassador in the sweepstakes for Secretary of State. Now, apparently, it also did him in for the number 2 position. I heard that online somewhere. I'm like, it can't be true. That's amazing. Who could be this shallow? But listen to all the evidence here. So now, here's another Trump associate that is privy to the internal meetings. Donald was not going to like that mustache. I can't think of anyone that's really close to Donald that has a beard that he likes. All right, let's show you this very controversial mustache. Now, I grant you that he looks miserable. It looks terrible, and he needs to police that mustache. Having said that, that is not why you eliminate someone from consideration for an incredibly important policy position. Look, don't get me wrong, I am thrilled that John Bolton is not going to be in the State Department. And if it turns out the child, Donald Trump, made a decision based on appearances, well, score us lucky on this one. But this is not how a president is supposed to make decisions. And it turns out, of course, it's not just about John Bolton. And I had heard about this in regards to Chris Christie when he was considering VPs. One of his internal sources said at the time, he doesn't like that Chris Christie looks like a slob. He's too overweight. Now, Trump's overweight, right? But no, Chris Christie's too overweight. Donald cares about appearances. Back then, I was like, no, it can't be. I know Donald Trump's not very bright, but really that shallow making decisions on that? Now, evidence number 2 is the mustache, but we're not done. Listen to more. This is Jason Miller, Trump's spokesperson. He says, quote, presentation is very important because you're representing America, not only on the national stage, but also on the international stage, depending on the position. They're not denying it. That's his spokesperson saying, yeah, well, presentation is very important. I mean, you got the wrong kind of mustache, obviously I can't pick you. Your ideas, who cares? Your policy positions, how can I concentrate on them with that ridiculous mustache on your face? Okay, Trump supporters, you must be so proud. Now, we go to another ally of Trump, Chris Ruddy. He is Newsmax media chief executive. He says about Trump, he likes people who present themselves very well, and he's very impressed when somebody has a background of being good on television because he thinks it's a very important medium for public policy. Now, if you say, hey, look, some of my guys have to be well-spoken here, no problem, I get that. But if you say they got to look pretty on TV, and that is one of the top things I'm considering, okay. Ruddy continues. Don't forget, he's a showbiz guy. He was at the pinnacle of showbiz, and he thinks about showbiz. He sees this as a business that relates to the public. My God, you know what he's doing? He's basically auditioning for a reality show. He's casting them. Except the reality show is reality. And it's all of our reality. Oh, brace for impact. This moron is going to make the worst decisions. This is not a reality show. It isn't TV. It isn't entertainment. It's the real world. And you're the most powerful man on earth. If you're making decisions based on mustaches and weight and appearance, oh my God, we're all in for a lot of pain over the next 4 years. So more from Ruddy. He says, the look might not necessarily be somebody who should be on the cover of GQ magazine or Vanity Fair. It's more about the look and the demeanor and the swagger. And it turns out he actually was seriously considering Mitt Romney, even though Mitt Romney had said all those terrible things about him during the primaries. Some believe that he was definitely messing with him. I'm in that camp. That's what I thought it was. But now some are saying, no, he liked Mitt Romney because he was really presentable. He looked like a real American. That's apparently one of the reasons why he likes Rex Tillerson. He's like, he's successful running a big company. Plus, boy, he'd be good on TV. He's tall. He's got a nice swagger, nice head of hair. This is not a movie. Okay, now, but my favorite, General James Mattis. He is going to be Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense. So why did he pick him? Well, let's go to the man himself, because if you're not believing his internal advisors, you're not believing the guys who are going on the record, well, let's go to Trump. Trump said Mattis is, quote, the closest thing to General George Patton that we have. And insiders explain that he means that somewhat literally, that he looks like Patton. Watch. So here's Mattis, here's Patton. He does kind of look like Patton, but it gets better. They actually think he means George C. Scott, who played Patton. This is the level of insanity that we've got headed for us for 4 years. Unbelievable. Okay, not done. There's one other thing that Trump liked about Mattis. He had a good nickname. He said, he's known as Mad Dog Mattis, right? Mad Dog for a reason. You know what that is? It's like wrestling, right? Like, oh, he's got a good nickname. I bet he's going to be Intercontinental Champion one day. Okay, and finally, one unnamed source from his transition team, again, part of the internal proceedings, says that's the language he speaks, referring to Trump. He's very aesthetic. You can come with somebody who's very much qualified for the job, but if they don't look the part, they're not going anywhere. That's how this child makes decisions. Brace for impact. He is going to cause untold damage. But he's going to look pretty doing it.